So today I got a brand new wireless thermometer that I want to showcase. It's made by Orka and it's called Meet It 3. It promises to deliver amazing results and also features 3 sensors for more accuracy and versatility. Let's dive in. And full disclosure, this is a paid sponsored video. I was paid to showcase the product's features. Okay, so I have the product here in my hands. And my first impressions are pretty cool. I actually really like this case. The case itself feels well built, but the most important part, the thermometer is definitely heavy duty. You're getting a really short thermometer that's still very versatile, and it's still giving you 3 sensors. I like having multiple sensors. I'm not really a fan of just having a tip sensor and an ambient sensor. I like something in between, because as you guys know, I like monitoring different parts of the food. So let's do a deeper dive and let's look at all of the features, some of the features that I want to personally highlight. Doing a quick unboxing, the product arrives in a very attractive package, highlighting some of the big features. Inside, you're going to find a quick user guide. The unit itself has this very satisfying wrap on top of it. When you peel it away, you're greeted with the Meet It logo and a beautiful case that houses the probe and protects it. Once fully charged, you can expect 50 hours of cook time for those low and slow applications for the perfect brisket. And the probe is also dishwasher and sous vide safe. The thermometer comes in at just under 4.5 inches of total length, which is insane, but it has some weight and heft to it, mostly due to the zirconium ambient sensor, which features high flame resistance, allowing you to easily sear off your steaks. But remember to keep it under 2 minutes to prolong the life of the unit. One more thing, don't forget to remove the tag so your unit can properly charge, and allow it to charge for 15 minutes before your first cook. On the back of the unit, you're going to find some very thoughtful features. Not only do you have very strong magnets, but there's also an included probe extractor. And I was really surprised to see this initially. At first, I had no clue what it was for, and then I quickly found out through the app that it's a probe extractor. This is the first time I've ever heard of a probe extractor, let alone built into the case, but it's a welcome addition and it just shows you just how well this product is thought out. Okay, so that was the feature list, and it's obviously packed with a lot of features, but one of the most important questions is, how well does it perform? Well, I don't know if you guys have noticed or not, but there's a barbecue behind me, and I've been waiting for it to get to just the right temperature, because we're gonna do some pulled beef using a chuck roast. And I think a chuck roast is a perfect thing to demonstrate today. This particular chuck roast was a little bit over 1 inch thick, and the thermometer had no problem sliding right through. Just make sure that the thermometer, especially those internal sensors, are not exposed. I placed the chuck roast on the indirect side utilizing a water tray to allow moisture to circulate through the entire cook, and then added in my wood chunks. It didn't take long for the smoke to start infusing in the chuck roast, and then I dialed in my temperatures to try to maintain a 250 to 275 degree Fahrenheit cooking temperature. And this is where the thermometer came in handy, because I set up my alerts in the app to make sure I never went over or under that. Checking on the cook periodically, I could see that a bark was forming. And then after several hours, I set up an alert to notify me when it was time to wrap. Now this would be a good time to start talking about the Bluetooth range. I found the Bluetooth range to be very comparable to the original Meat Stick, the original Meter, Thermopro, and Inkbird. You don't have Wi-Fi connection, but you do have a strong Bluetooth connection, and I was able to maintain connection throughout my entire yard, no problems. Like most Bluetooth connections, it's going to heavily rely on your environment, and if you have line of sight or if you have things in between that will influence that connection. So there's a lot of interference that can impact the Bluetooth connection. And the app is very prompt to let you know when you have disconnected. You also see some stuff changing that doesn't make sense. Like for example, I was noticing that the cook duration was increasing, and then I immediately got a prompt. I like that. And likewise, it doesn't take too much to regain connection. You can see here that I just stepped forward a couple of feet. So it's very consistent and very reliable as long as you are outdoors and you do have line of sight. And after several hours, the chuck roast was finally done, and we reached an internal temperature of just over 200 degrees Fahrenheit. And after allowing it to rest, which took me well into the night, you can see that it was just literally pulling. So what if you're looking to cook an amazing steak? It's really easy. In the app, I'm going to set the temperatures to my perfect doneness, and I'm going to let the Meat at 3 take it from there. The Meat at 3's tip sensor and mid sensor are working together along with the ambient sensor to calculate the precise moment of when this steak's done. And just like that, our steak's progressing along. I set up an alert to remind me when it was time to sear. We're going to fire up our ceramic burner and get it extra hot. The high temperature resistance of the ambient sensor means that I never have to take the probe out. It's continuously monitoring my cook, ensuring that I reach the perfect doneness. It was time to carve up this beautiful porterhouse. A porterhouse can be a bit tricky because one side of it is a tenderloin and the other side is a sirloin, so they tend to cook at different temperature rates. But this is my perfect doneness. The steak was absolutely amazing, juicy, moist, flavorful, and perfectly cooked.
So I also cooked up some chicken quarters. We did a tri-tip. Basically anything I threw at this thing, it handled it just fine. So let's also take some time to talk about the app. Obviously, hardware is very important, but the software in the app is equally as important. And if it's too frustrating or confusing to use the app, you're probably not going to use it. Well, you don't have to worry about that because I found the app to be really pleasant to use and easy to use, easy to navigate. And linking up the probes in the app or the product itself in the app is really easy. Just follow the steps, but literally you take the probe out, you watch for the blinking light, and within seconds, everything's communicating beautifully. You can set up your own custom alerts to notify you of specific events that are important to you. For example, if you're cooking something and you want to remove it because it's time to sear it like a steak and you want to sear it for that perfect medium rare, well, you can set up an alert specifically for 115 degrees and call it time to sear. And you also have all the other common stuff like graphs. So you can really dive into the data and see specifically what's going on and what's happening. Okay, so how can I sum up the Meat at 3? Well, I actually really enjoyed the probe. I found it incredibly useful, easy to use, and pleasant to use with great results. And of course, as I mentioned previously, not every product is 100% perfect for each individual, but I like internal rechargeable batteries. I would love to see a thinner version of the probe with more sensors. I can see that they're really trying to drive simplicity for people that are just starting to cook or learning how to cook, but also setting up alerts and customizing the app to the user so users that are more experienced can set up their own alerts and take it from there. Now the unit comes in at $100, which is really competitive if you think about it because it's offering 3 total sensors. And I'll actually leave a link in the description below with the discount code. And I believe the manufacturer is offering a sale for Father's Day. So if you are interested in buying this product, make sure you follow that link and purchase one for yourself. That's it for me, guys. If you found this video informative, please consider subscribing and joining our channel membership so we can continue making videos like this one. I'll catch you guys on the next video.